That's a clarification for you right there on the lost challenge by the Jaguars. 3rd and 6. Bortles in trouble. He loses the football, and Garrett falls on it. The Jaguars give the ball right back to the Browns. It's Myles Garrett recovering the fumble.
What do you do when you have a free rusher? Cross concept in this offense has been deadly against other defenses.
Steelers down to one timeout. Football is loose. Cleveland's got it. Caleb Bradley with the fumble recovery. Second turnover committed by the Steelers.
Flacco steps up. Now the pressure coming, and down he goes. Myles Garrett with the sack for the Browns.
Average.
Garrett now with 5.5 sacks.
Winston has the ball batted out of his hands and picked up by the Browns. And the Browns, it is a fumble, and it's recovered by the Browns.
Ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. First down, Cleveland.
Myles Garrett get to this.
Myles Garrett dominating Donovan Smith here, just with speed and that power.
He's going to try a 54-yard field goal. 2 of those 3 misses have been 50 yards or more. The other one was blocked. This would be a season long. 50, that's blocked again! He's had 2 blocked. That baby was batted. And the defense holds. 22-yard catch on this 11-play drive. 3rd down. Here comes Garrett. Down goes Driscoll.
Well, he just beats the left tackle right out of his stance. I mean, we talk about this suddenness with a pass rusher like Myles Garrett. He's got those long arms and heavy hands.
Cam Newton going to go down. A loss of 2. Myles Garrett.
Just watch this get off. He is off the ball. He's a step and a half in the line of scrimmage before anybody else gets their hand off the dirt. Beats the left tackle like a drum. Look at this. Arm under. Look at how tight he turns that hoop getting to Cam Newton. That you can't do it better than that.
2nd and 11.
Mariota taken down with a flag, and it's Myles Garrett.
We got right around Kelly, and he had 13.5 sacks last year.
His first pass of the night comes with pressure, and it comes with Myles Garrett getting the sack.
Number 95, Myles Garrett, a freak athlete, 6'5", 275 pounds. He comes down. They don't even block him. That's a free sack. That's a gimme.
Jets 10 penalties and 6 on the offense. Falk, and again it's Garrett.
Well, just watch Myles Garrett, number 95. This really isn't a good pass rush move. This is, I've been in the weight room all off season long, and I'm just going to be stronger and more physical than you. That's the name of that move.
They bring Gurley up into the gap to prevent this blitz from hurting him the way that it has in the past.
Said they rush 4. Goff, look out. The arm coming forward or not. For the moment, it's a live football. And it's Schobert with the recovery. Ruled a fumble on the field with 18 seconds.
The guys not quite in that 6'4" quarterback preferred range. Wilson in the pocket. They got him. He is sacked. It's the 8th of the season for Myles Garrett.
Myles Garrett playing that stand-up style right here. And this is one of the areas that will be interesting during the course of the game because you've got some show.
From the 14. Brady. He's sacked as the Browns.
Start of the 2nd quarter. Ravens threatening. Ricard loses the ball, and the Browns jump on top of it. Patrick Ricard trying to get inside, and it's Myles Garrett on the recovery.
Joe Burrow's got to be smart here with the football.
And he's not. Gets it knocked out. Browns have it. Watch right here. And so you got Gio Bernard right there who could give him a chip, who could secure the inside, but he doesn't. He's more interested in getting out into his route. Myles Garrett, that's a great job.
Up-tempo, no huddle by Washington.
He's been effective for them at times today, but Haskins in trouble. That's a strip. Ball is out, and it's recovered by Myles Garrett. The strip sack, the turnover again to Cleveland.
So in a meeting, we talked with Myles about the trifecta. Strip, sack, and recovery. And exactly what he does. Myles.
The rookie from Wisconsin. Be a 2nd down and 6, and Prescott looking to throw it, has some pressure, and down he goes. The hometown boy, Myles Garrett.
And you just have to be aware, right? That's Myles Garrett going up against Terrence Steele, the undrafted free agent rookie. He's done a good job being pressed into servers, but you gotta Zeke in the first quarter.
Prescott, pressure, stripped, ball is loose. It's on the ground. It is picked up by Vernon in Cleveland. Myles Garrett, another strip sack for him. It's been a clinic in this early going, and he did it again, and Cleveland's got the turnover.
Receivers on the sideline.
Play clock down to 1.
Here they come. Garrett, football is loose. Who's got it? It's still loose, far side of the field. And they say Cleveland.
Where does he go here on 1st and goal? Burrow flushed out of the pocket. Here comes Garrett giving chase. 2nd sack for Garrett. He has been a wrecker of offenses. Timeout taken.
3rd and 3. Tannehill. He gets crushed by Myles.
Henning yields the low snap. They're still going to throw. They're going to sack him. And Garrett comes in and gets him.
Well, you're going to see Garrett comes flying in. What do? Do you play soft? They're a little soft for my liking here.
Pressure. They got him back at the 40-yard line. Myles Garrett from one. Had to here with 3.5 to go.
And this right here is Myles Garrett meet at the quarterback, Clowney on the other side, but I think Mahomes got too deep. Watch, step up, step up. He always does, but sometimes on 3rd and 10.
4-man rush, pressure coming, Fields in trouble, and he's down again!
Tough as nails. I think he's going to be just fine.
0 for 5 on 3rd, Fields in trouble, down he goes again!
From behind, they get to him, and yes, it's Myles Garrett.
Record sack pace, and goes right around. More on the left side, and there.
I'm laughing because it is. I mean, those are two imposing.
Oh, Huntley was hit. That's loose. It's free. Myles Garrett picks it up, takes it in, touchdown.
But what an incredible play by Myles Garrett.
Oh, I think his arm was cocked, and that ball was free.
Yep.
That's a touchdown.
Yeah, that is.
That's a touchdown. Fumble. Touchdown, Cleveland. 111 yards against the Lions last week. 2nd and 15. Oh, he was hit coming around the edge. Garrett got it. Ball is loose. Now the question is fumble or incomplete pass. Well, they're calling it fumble right now.
Safeties back there watching Tom Brady.
Brady sacked on 3rd down. Myles Garrett.
Myles Garrett, see what he does.
Brady on 3rd down.
Got him.
Goes down.
Myles Garrett, by not chipping him, by not sliding protection over to him, he's going to eat your lunch.
Here from your top defensive players. They have been off the charts. Here they come again.
There's
Garrett around the corner. Tannehill somehow out of the end zone to avert what would have been disastrous.
Great tandem. Garrett off of this edge. And then on the other side is Zadarius Smith with power. So you got the speed of Garrett coming off the edge. You've got the power of Zadarius.
1st and 10. There's this very impressive start for Indianapolis continues, and here comes that Cleveland defense. Garrett knocked it loose. Who's got it? At first glance, it appears as though the Colts have recovered. Now they say Cleveland football. Boy, it looked like Will Fries had fell on it moment.
Playing up near the line of scrimmage like a linebacker.
Well, apparently for Shane Steichen, they're not out of field goal range. Matt Gay is blocked. That's a live football. It's picked up. Denzel Ward.
Right over, doesn't touch anybody, perfectly legal, gets his hands up and makes a play.
That just doesn't make sense. Minshew from his end zone. Here comes Garrett. Football's loose. Who's got it? Cleveland. It's still loose. No signal yet. Touchdown. Tony Fields.
They got a tight end and then a tackle, and it doesn't even matter. Chip, bump, whatever, that's not going to happen. And Freeland's got to do a much better job of. Somebody is going to have to win outside so they can have any shot at moving the ball down the field.
Fake handoff, Tune. Football is knocked out. Live football. And Cleveland has it with Garrett.
And really, you can't really fault Clayton Tune because he's expecting the backside to be able to hold up.
Following the sack. 3rd down and 17. Jackson in trouble. Down he goes again. Second straight play, Myles Garrett.
Defensively, Highsmith and Watt. Steelers won the game 26-22. Look out! Kenny Pickett gets drilled by Myles Garrett.
Created an opening and a one-on-one for Myles Garrett, who works inside a
11 Tucker at the bottom of your screen is the speed burner. Again, no Devontae Adams and a sack taken. Myles Garrett getting to the quarterback.
Field goal attempt from 57 yards away. Elliott's career long is 61. From 57, it's blocked. Blocked by Myles Garrett. Wow! And it's taken back all the way by the former Eagle, Rodney McLeod. What a turn of events!
For 128. Yet to throw an incompletion. Here, under pressure, loses the ball. Strip, and the Browns are there to get it. Myles Garrett came in.
Cordero Patterson and Warren in the backfield.
Cordero fumbles the football, and it's recovered by Myles Garrett. This game is not over.
Tyreek Hill in motion. Huntley looking his way, now in trouble. Huntley trying to escape, he cannot. And guess who? Myles Garrett with the sack on his 29th birthday.